Welcome to TT-Buddhism, where we explore profound Buddhist teachings, wisdom, and stories to help you find peace, clarity, and true fulfillment in life. Today, we will dive into a fundamental question that has puzzled humanity for centuries. What is the purpose of life? From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that happiness, success, and wealth define the meaning of life. Society teaches us that achieving our dreams, earning more money, or gaining recognition will bring us lasting fulfillment. But is this truly the case? If success and material wealth were the ultimate purpose of life, then those who have achieved the greatest heights of success should also be the happiest people. Yet, history tells a different story. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, once reflected in his final days, "I have reached the pinnacle of success in business, but beyond work, I have little joy." Leonardo da Vinci, despite his unparalleled genius, regretted that he had not achieved the level of perfection he desired. Isaac Newton, one of the greatest minds in science, compared himself to a child picking pebbles on the shore, while the vast ocean of truth remained undiscovered. Even these extraordinary individuals, who reached the peak of human achievement, felt a deep sense of incompleteness. Why? Because external success is fleeting, and human desire is endless. This raises an important question. If happiness is not the ultimate goal, then what is? In this video, we will explore the Buddhist perspective on life's true purpose, not the pursuit of happiness, but the liberation from suffering. Let's begin. The misconception about the purpose of life. From a young age, we are taught that the ultimate goal in life is to achieve happiness. Society conditions us to believe that success, wealth, relationships, and accomplishments will bring lasting fulfillment. We are constantly reminded that the more we achieve, the happier we will be. But is this really true? If happiness were the ultimate purpose of life, then those who have reached extraordinary levels of success should be the happiest individuals. Yet, history provides countless examples that suggest otherwise. Take Steve Jobs, for instance. Despite revolutionizing technology and building one of the most successful companies in the world, he admitted in his final days that his wealth and achievements did not bring him lasting joy. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the greatest minds in history, felt that he had not lived up to his full potential, regretting that he could have done more. Isaac Newton, despite his groundbreaking discoveries, compared himself to a child picking pebbles on the shore, realizing that the vast ocean of truth still lay undiscovered. These individuals, who had accomplished what many can only dream of, still experienced a profound sense of incompleteness. This pattern reveals an important truth. Success, wealth, and fame do not provide lasting fulfillment. They are temporary, fleeting, and often lead to an endless cycle of desire. The moment we achieve one goal, another desire arises, pushing us to chase the next milestone, the next achievement, the next moment of pleasure. This continuous pursuit creates a cycle of suffering. We tell ourselves that once we buy a house, get a promotion, or find the perfect relationship, we will finally be happy. But once we attain one desire, we immediately begin longing for something more. This endless craving keeps us trapped in a never-ending loop of dissatisfaction. Buddhism refers to this as the cycle of craving and suffering, samsara. Instead of bringing lasting peace, our desires only create more suffering. We constantly compare ourselves to others, feeling inadequate when we see someone with more success, money, or social status. Even when we attain what we once desperately wanted, the satisfaction fades, leaving us searching for the next source of happiness. This illusion of fulfillment keeps us in a state of unrest, always looking outward, instead of inward. So, if happiness is not the true purpose of life, then what is? If wealth, power, and accomplishments do not bring true fulfillment, what should we be striving for? The answer lies in shifting our perspective. Instead of asking, "How can I be happy?" we should ask, "How can I be free from suffering?" The Buddhist teachings suggest that true peace does not come from chasing external happiness, but from understanding and overcoming the root of suffering. In the next section, we will explore the perspectives of Osho and Krishnamurti, who challenge the very idea of having a purpose in life. Their views offer a radically different approach, one that focuses not on achieving, but simply on being. Let's continue our journey toward understanding the deeper truth of existence. Osho's perspective: life has no purpose. If happiness is not the ultimate goal of life, then what should we be striving for? According to Osho, the answer is surprising. Life has no purpose at all. At first, this idea may seem unsettling. We are conditioned to believe that everything must have a purpose: our careers, relationships, and even our existence. But Osho challenges this belief, arguing that the very idea of purpose is born out of dissatisfaction and greed. The moment we search for meaning, we are essentially saying, life as it is not enough. I need something more. But what if life is already complete? What if its true nature is not about achieving, but simply about being? Osho suggests that the obsession with purpose is a trap that prevents us from experiencing life in its fullest form. He compares life to a beautiful sunset or a piece of music. We do not ask why a sunset exists or what the purpose of a melody is. We simply enjoy them for what they are. The same, he says, should apply to life itself. Osho illustrates this point with the example of children playing on a beach. When children collect seashells or build sandcastles, they do not do it with a long-term goal in mind. They are not trying to achieve anything significant. They simply enjoy the act of playing. However, as we grow older, we start treating life as a business transaction, expecting rewards for everything we do. We believe that happiness lies in the future, always just beyond our reach. But this very belief creates suffering because it conditions us to constantly chase something instead of appreciating what is already here. This perspective radically differs from the way most people think about life. Society teaches us that we must always be moving toward something, toward success, toward enlightenment, toward a higher purpose. But Osho suggests that this very search is the problem. He says that when we sit in deep meditation, when our minds become silent, we realize that there is no destination to reach. The present moment is already complete. There is nothing to achieve, nothing to chase after. Everything we need is here right now. However, while Osho's philosophy encourages living in the present, it significantly differs from Buddhist teachings. Osho completely rejects the idea of seeking a purpose, whereas Buddhism does not deny meaning but instead teaches that the ultimate purpose of life is liberation from suffering. While Osho argues that life is purely about playfulness and joy, Buddhism acknowledges that life contains suffering and offers a path to transcend it. Thus, while Osho's perspective is valuable in reminding us to embrace the present and avoid unnecessary striving, it does not provide a solution to the deeper existential suffering that Buddhism addresses. In the next section, we will explore the ideas of J. Krishnamurti, who takes Osho's perspective even further, arguing that our search for meaning is not just unnecessary, but a form of escapism from ourselves. Let's continue. J. Krishnamurti's perspective: searching for meaning is escaping from ourselves. If Osho challenges the idea that life needs a purpose, J. Krishnamurti takes this perspective even further. He argues that the very act of searching for meaning is not a genuine quest for truth, but rather a way to escape from ourselves. While Osho suggests that life should simply be lived without a specific goal, Krishnamurti delves deeper into the psychology behind why people search for meaning in the first place. He asserts that when we ask, "What is the purpose of life?" what we are really saying is, "I am dissatisfied with my life as it is, and I need something to make it feel more complete." According to Krishnamurti, this dissatisfaction arises from feelings of emptiness, boredom, or even loneliness. Instead of confronting these emotions directly, most people seek external solutions, whether it be through wealth, power, relationships, or even spiritual enlightenment. However, he argues that no external solution can ever truly resolve an internal problem. People continuously chase one goal after another, hoping that the next achievement, the next possession, or the next experience will bring them fulfillment. But as soon as they attain what they once desired, the satisfaction fades, and the cycle begins again. Krishnamurti emphasizes that those who are truly content do not ask about life's purpose, because for them, life itself is already complete. Only those who feel an inner void are constantly searching for something beyond themselves. This endless search, he argues, is not a pursuit of truth, but rather an attempt to distract ourselves from confronting our own minds. He challenges people to stop running, stop searching, and instead turn inward and observe their thoughts, emotions, and desires with complete honesty. To illustrate this, Krishnamurti often compared the search for meaning to the search for love. Can we truly find love by actively looking for it? Or does love arise naturally when we cultivate deep, meaningful connections with others? Similarly, the purpose of life cannot be found by endlessly searching for it. It is something that is realized when we fully engage with life as it is. He teaches that true awareness and understanding come not from seeking answers outside of ourselves, but from paying close attention to the nature of our own consciousness. Krishnamurti's perspective is both liberating and challenging. It forces us to question our motives for seeking purpose. Are we searching because we genuinely seek understanding, or because we are uncomfortable sitting with ourselves? Are we chasing goals because they bring true fulfillment, or because we are afraid of stillness? His teachings encourage radical self-awareness, an ability to observe without judgment, to see life as it unfolds without the need to impose meaning onto it. However, while Krishnamurti's philosophy provides deep insight into the human condition, it differs from Buddhist teachings in one key way. Buddhism does not reject the search for meaning, but instead teaches that life's ultimate purpose is to overcome suffering and attain liberation. While Krishnamurti argues that there is no need to seek meaning at all, Buddhism acknowledges the suffering inherent in life and offers a practical path to transcend it. In the next section, we will explore the Buddhist perspective on the purpose of life, which teaches that true liberation does not come from achieving happiness, but from understanding and ending suffering itself. Let's continue our journey toward a deeper understanding. The Buddhist perspective. The purpose of life is to end suffering. While Osho and Krishnamurti question the very need for a purpose in life, Buddhism offers a deeper insight. Life's ultimate purpose is not happiness, not success, not even meaning, but the cessation of suffering. According to the Buddha, every action that humans take, whether pursuing wealth, relationships, knowledge, or pleasure, is ultimately driven by a single underlying motivation, the desire to escape suffering. A person suffering from hunger does not truly crave food, they crave the end of hunger. Someone experiencing deep loneliness does not merely seek a relationship, they seek relief from their loneliness. Even a person addicted to substances does not desire the drug itself, but rather the temporary escape from pain and emotional turmoil that it provides. In this way, happiness is not our true goal. It is simply a means to an end. We chase pleasure and joy only because we believe they will remove our suffering. But the truth is, happiness never truly eliminates suffering. It merely masks it for a moment. This is why life often feels like an endless cycle. Once we satisfy one craving, another arises. We believe that achieving success, wealth, or love will bring us lasting fulfillment, yet each new accomplishment simply replaces one desire with another. This cycle of desire and suffering is what Buddhism calls samsara, the endless wheel of birth, suffering, and rebirth. The more we cling to external sources of happiness, the deeper we entrench ourselves in this cycle. No matter how much we achieve, possess, or experience, we remain trapped in a pattern of dissatisfaction, always longing for something more. The Buddha recognized this fundamental human struggle and taught that rather than endlessly chasing temporary pleasures, we should focus on understanding and ending suffering itself. He presented this insight in the form of the Four Noble Truths, which lay the foundation for Buddhist wisdom. The first truth, dukkha, the truth of suffering, states that suffering is an unavoidable part of life. We experience pain, loss, dissatisfaction, and impermanence in everything. The second truth, samudaya, the cause of suffering, explains that suffering arises from craving, attachment, and ignorance. We cling to things, hoping they will bring us happiness, but nothing in life is permanent. The third truth, nirodha, the end of suffering, teaches that it is possible to overcome suffering. True peace does not come from fulfilling desires, but from letting go of attachment. Finally, the fourth truth, magga, the path to liberation, offers a solution. The way to end suffering is to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, a practical guide that leads to wisdom, ethical living, and mental discipline. True peace and fulfillment come not from accumulating more, but from letting go, detaching from desires, breaking free from attachments, and seeing life as it is. Nirvana, the ultimate state of liberation, is reached when one fully understands the nature of suffering and transcends it. This is the path the Buddha walked, and it is the path he taught to those who seek true freedom. In the next section, we will explore a powerful Buddhist parable that illustrates this journey. A story of a man fleeing from danger, searching for safety, and ultimately finding peace. Let's continue. A Buddhist parable, escaping from suffering and finding liberation. To understand the Buddhist perspective on ending suffering, let's explore a powerful parable that illustrates the journey toward liberation. Imagine a man who finds himself living in constant danger. In his house, he is surrounded by 4 deadly snakes, each capable of killing him with a single bite. No matter how hard he tries to control them, they remain unpredictable and life-threatening. As if this weren't enough, he is suddenly pursued by 6 armed robbers intent on stealing everything he has. Desperate to escape, he runs as fast as he can, only to find himself face to face with a ruthless bandit chief wielding a spear, ready to take his life. Terrified and with nowhere left to turn, the man runs through an abandoned village, looking for a place to hide, but there is no refuge. Eventually, he reaches a riverbank and sees that on the other side lies a peaceful land, one free from snakes, robbers, and danger. However, there is no bridge, no easy way to cross. Determined to escape, he gathers branches, ties them together, and builds a raft. With great effort, he paddles across the river and finally reaches safety. This parable is a metaphor for the human experience of suffering and the path to liberation. The 4 deadly snakes represent the unstable nature of the body, earth, water, fire, and air, constantly changing, and eventually leading to sickness, aging, and death. The 6 armed robbers symbolize the 6 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and thought, that deceive us and pull us into attachment and craving. The bandit chief represents desire and attachment, the greatest cause of suffering in human life. The river represents samsara, the endless cycle of birth, suffering, and rebirth. The peaceful land on the other side symbolizes nirvana, the ultimate freedom from suffering. The raft represents the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, which guide us to liberation. The message of this story is clear. Suffering is an unavoidable part of life, but we have the power to escape it. By following the teachings of the Buddha, letting go of attachment, practicing mindfulness, and cultivating wisdom, we can build our own raft and cross to the other side, leaving suffering behind. In the next section, we will explore how to apply this wisdom in daily life, taking practical steps toward true inner peace. Let's continue. Conclusion. Embracing the path to freedom from suffering. As we reach the end of this journey, let us reflect on the profound wisdom shared through Buddhist teachings. Many people spend their entire lives chasing happiness, believing that success, wealth, or relationships will bring them fulfillment. Yet, as we have seen, even the most accomplished individuals have felt an inner void. Buddhism teaches us that the true purpose of life is not to accumulate achievements or pleasures, but to end suffering. Through mindfulness, we learn to live fully in the present moment, instead of being trapped by regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. By understanding impermanence, we let go of attachments and expectations, freeing ourselves from unnecessary suffering. And by cultivating wisdom and compassion, we not only find inner peace, but also contribute to a more harmonious world. The journey toward liberation is not something that happens overnight. It requires patience, practice, and a deep commitment to self-awareness. But every small step, whether it is pausing to breathe mindfully, embracing change instead of fearing it, or responding to difficulties with wisdom instead of reactivity, brings us closer to true peace. Let this be an invitation for you to take that first step. Reflect on what suffering means in your own life and consider how you can apply these teachings to free yourself from its cycle. Remember, the path to enlightenment begins with awareness. As the Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." May we all walk this path with mindfulness and wisdom. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of life's purpose through a Buddhist perspective. If this discussion resonated with you, we invite you to share your thoughts, like this video, and subscribe to TT-Buddhism for more wisdom and insights. May you find peace, clarity, and true freedom on your journey.